Yes, Sir Hairless here. We are back with VoicePlay for another Patreon request. Thank you to Juliana for this one. This is a song called We All Lift Together from a game called Warframe. I don't know the game, but the video of the song is really interesting. The people seem to be these machine-human hybrids. It's not the type of music I would typically expect from a game. It's like a workers' chorus.
Hide the heart of who we are making.
So it's certainly interesting. It's definitely something I could imagine VoicePlay doing. And overall, it's not the most complex of songs, just as you wouldn't expect a workers' chorus to be. Which means there's a lot of room for VoicePlay to potentially, well, VoicePlay it up. I've just been listening to the original song on repeat, and I'm not gonna lie, it's grown on me quite a lot in the 5 or 6 listens that I've just done. The lyrics are cool as well. I find them a bit harrowing, but there's an undeniable sense of camaraderie. So let's get straight into it. At the time of recording, this is VoicePlay's most recent video.
Flowing hard, the land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe.
This, the song of sons and daughters. Hide the heart of who we are. Making peace to build our future. Strong, united.
Working till we fall.
And we all live. And we're all adrift together. Whoa. Through the cold mist, till we're lifeless together.
Some absolutely lovely harmony in there. Some really, really nice harmony in there, which I'm glad they've done, because the original song in the introduction, I don't know now because I've not edited the video, but the clips that I plan on showing in the introduction are probably no more than 3 or 4 seconds for copyright reasons, which is a shame. I would have loved to have been able to show much more of the original song. So do go check it out, at least 20-30 seconds of it, because it's really, really interesting, and you'll hear the music and how VoicePlay have really managed to capture the same essence. Like I mentioned in the introduction, it's a fairly simple song, but they've added in a lot in there as well, and it's mostly due to the harmony. Some really, really nice things in there. Let's do our first pause now whilst we have paused, and I'll try and pick out the most interesting things. Firstly, we have Jose Rosario Jr. We have seen him before with VoicePlay on the channel, such as in Hoist the Colors. That was a great one. Check out my video on that if you haven't already. And he opens up the verse.
Hold the air and water flowing hard, the land we call our home.
Things were quite bare bones, and that's just the nature of a workers' chorus. Let me try and show a clip of the original.
Hold the air and water flowing.
So we can see that VoicePlay are performing in the same key. They are doing a couple of things just to add some atmosphere to the song, such as on the word hard, we hear a whispered hard.
Water flowing hard, the land we call our home.
Before I carry on with the music as well, the visual effects are great in this one, aren't they? Using the eyes to show us that they are these kind of humanoid robot hybrids. Gearing up with the sound. Great little sound effects from Lane as usual, lovely outfits. And there were some really cool effects, weren't there, with the videos of the fast forwarding and rewinding, which I personally think really work well as someone who doesn't know much about video and production in general. When it's a simple, it's not a simple set, is it? But compared to some other videos that we've seen where there's much more movement and color, that kind of thing, they're just standing there relatively still. So all the little effects that we do get stand out a bit more. And the same applies to the music. When we do have music such as this, a workers' chorus, the purpose is you sing along, you keep in rhythm. Naturally, things are a bit simplistic. So when they add in these additions, such as the harmony, it works really well. What should we start with? Let's start with the beginning. Our drone note. Fine. Already a really rich chord. Can you hear that in there? What does this mean? It means that we've had and now we're having this lovely falling passage. In the original song, I'm not gonna lie, I was singing that part in my head and it didn't come. So I was very happy 9 seconds into VoicePlay's cover when we did get that. It's one of those things. A natural falling chromatic descent that just works. It just sounds natural. It sounds like it should be there in the harmony. VoicePlay clearly recognized this and don't mess about. They just put it straight in there. Whilst I have the keyboard up, the chords mostly are this. That's really the basis of the song, C sharp minor. And then kind of the other 2 chords that we get are G sharp minor, F sharp minor, and then back. So because of the fairly limited harmony and VoicePlay sticking true to the sense of the original song, a workers' chorus, they are naturally a bit more limited in what they can do, but it's no problem for them. And I love how they are leaning into this idea of unity, camaraderie, even with the little things like this falling descent. Top part moving down, middle part moving down, third part moving down. This is one of those songs, one of those arrangements where the bass part in Jeff and Lane with the beatbox, the percussion, the rhythmic core of the song, shall we say, are just so important. It's not like we're having a chugga 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 type of beat. No, they're very infrequent.
Cold, the air and water flowing hard, the land we...
And it goes to show how you don't need all these parts and moving complications in music for something to be catchy. I don't know, maybe you don't find it catchy. We need to listen to the rest of the song, so we'll carry on in a second. But yeah, I think they've captured the essence of the original song really, really well. Now, for this bit.
And we all lift.
And we all lift. And we're all adrift together. And then the next line. Before, the chords that I showed you were minor chords. Everything minor, sad, or not necessarily sad, but just not that uplifting. Now the chords that we're getting here, major, then sure, 1 minor chord, but then major and major. So these new chords are introduced, a complete flip to the mood, and it's very subtle. VoicePlay hang on to that subtlety in terms of the rhythms anyway, the homophonicness that we're getting, them singing the same words as each other at the same time, very different to the kind of sparse singing that we had before.
And we're all adrift together.
That previous line, you know what I'm gonna say. Suspension. Oh, gorgeous.
And we're all adrift together.
Our chord is E, but it's the second note that is being suspended and then resolving. So we get really nice, isn't it? And then the next line has one of the most powerful lyrics, in my opinion, where they say, through the cold mist till we're lifeless together. The song is about them working until they drop dead, basically. There's something quite poignant and harrowing, that's the word I used in the introduction, for this reason. It's quite morbid, but VoicePlay have chosen to create such beautiful major harmony underneath it.
Lifeless together. Lifeless together.
A real dichotomy here. We have lifeless, clearly not a great thing, is it? But then the togetherness, the idea of family, unity, is a nice thing. And in terms of harmony, it's not simple, it's fairly complicated, but it's not overbearing. It's just a nice, juicy chord.
Together. Lifeless together.
It's kind of like the suspension we had before, but now this note is moving up, but it's also in harmony with the part underneath. And they're creating dissonance with the rest of the chord. And then resolving up like an inverted suspension. The more I speak about this song, it seems like roles are being reversed, there are inversions of themes, of music. I have spoken for so much longer than I intended to on this first pause, so I think it's time to carry on with the rest of the song. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now.
Cold, the air and water flowing hard. The land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we own.
This, the song of sons and daughters, hide the heart of who we are, making peace to build our
Chromatic line
future,
coming
strong, united, work until we fall.
And we all live, and we're all adrift together.
Arabian, Caesar coming out there.
Drift together.
Oh, it's such a nice chord.
Together. Through the cold mist, till we're lifeless together. Together.
Air, hard, land, strong. Together, still we stand.
Cold air, hard land, strong. Together, still we. Cold air, hard land, strong. Together, still we stand. Cold air, hard land, strong. Together, still we. And we all live, and we're all adrift together. Through the cold mist, till we're lifeless together. Lifeless together.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I was not planning on not pausing there. I just didn't seem to get a chance to. It was one that kept flowing. It had some natural breakpoints as well, but the suspense had already been built up. Well, I was thinking, okay, if I pause now, there will be the keyboard warriors in the comments. Why have you paused there? Yeah, overall, a really good flow in that one. Also, a quick question before I forget. This "We All Live Together" that's going on in the back corner here. I assume that's an animated sign, right? Or is that a real sign? If any of you know, let me know. I'm very curious. I like how they end exactly how they started. Let's go back to the start. Yeah, there we go. And the last chord. It's the root, but an open fifth. So there's no third note, giving us a minor third. The third note could also give us a major third. If we were ending on a tierce de Picardy or a Picardy third, where you finish a minor bit of music in the major, but there's nothing, just completely omitted. It's a very archaic way of writing music, and it sounds quite strange or primitive. All right, well, there's just so much in that second kind of 2/3. I honestly have no idea what I'm going to talk about. This is one of those arrangements where you very much have a skeleton and the structure was not changed too much. VoicePlay usually change around things in terms of the structure. For example, we might have very clear sections. There'll be a section where they change the time signature, or a homophonic section, then a polyphonic section, then a unison section. Again, and I've probably said this 20 times, so I apologize, but being a workers' chorus type song, you don't want to be changing around the structure. So they are very much honoring it in in that respect. What do they do differently? I will literally just put my mouse to a random moment and... So here we've got the harmonic layering, like a climax moment with Ellie right up there.
Air, hard, land, strong, together, still weak.
Just adding in these sounds in the background just for some difference.
Stand, cold, air, hard, land.
And I won't play this whole section, but it builds up, keeps building up. We even have the melody, of course, coming in towards the end.
Together, still we stand. Cold air.
Not gonna lie, that sounds a bit like a bottom burp, shall we say.
We stand. Cold air. Hard, land, strong, together.
And even there, just the drone note coming through in the background, which we can hear.
Still we.
Bit of a hemiola there. Dum, 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 dum.
And we all live. And we're all the time together.
I remember, I mean, it was literally about a minute ago, but I remember watching this thinking, oh, the harmony is so nice. I just love everything else that we're hearing, that weird Jeff-like glitch. Caesar's eyes like that, looking like he's about to explode. But all of the little subtle things that we're hearing.
And we all live.
The rhythm has intrinsically become bouncy, jumpa, 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 in an otherwise very regimented song, jump, as is the way of the workers. Naturally being bouncy gives it a bit more of an uplifting feel.
And we're all
The words where all lift are repeated.
together.
The bass line, and then dropping down, boom, as the other parts move up. This part as well, not expecting it. So I'm probably doing a really bad job, for which I apologize. This is just a bit more of a difficult arrangement to give structured thoughts on. There's just so much happening at any one point, whilst the structure is the same. I think they've done a really, really good job at implementing variety, difference, keeping things interesting, whether it's the harmonies or the rhythms, whilst keeping it a kind of repetitive song. And I hesitate to use the word repetitive because usually that means boring, but this is anything but boring. So let's go back to where I carried on.
Cold, the air and water flowing.
Here, choral, homophony, no beat, something strangely angelic about it, or choir-like. It's actually making me nostalgic weirdly, because I've mentioned in one or two previous VoicePlay videos, I think, but I have sung in the soundtrack for a couple of popular games. Maybe I'll put a little clip in here of an example, the game's theme. And this song, We All Live Together, is giving me similar kind of feelings. The music seems a bit similar in a unifying way, whilst being very, very different. Let me find the clip. Okay, if you've ever played this game, you'll recognize it. I don't think I can play any more because of copyright. Maybe a few seconds from a bit later on. We can hear we have the drones in there, in the violins, and we have the kind of offset rhythms. Chum, chum. They're just two of many similarities between the two. There's something about game music when you're trying to create a certain type of atmosphere. Anyway, I digress. Why did I talk about that choir? Yeah, so we get this homophonic bit.
Hard, the land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming.
Very natural, with Jeff then coming down, sinking even lower. So with this idea of starting up here, everyone close together, and then growing out. And then the next bit, because homophony is quite limited in terms of its rhythms, right? Everyone's singing the same thing. Now,
Feel the weight of what we owe.
This, the song of sons and daughters, hide the heart.
all the way through basically is what we're hearing in the backing part. It's very complex. And there was a part later on as well where in the original song,
Peace to build our future, strong, united.
you can hear these arpeggios in the background. That kind of thing in an organ type sound. And if you listen really carefully, we hear it. It's this attention to detail, all the little parts, no matter how subtle. Yeah, really fantastic job, I think, of capturing the essence of the original song. Especially interesting when we as a listener don't know the original song and we go and listen to it and then listen to VoicePlay. Let me know if you know the game Warframe or have ever played it. I certainly haven't. And of course, thank you very much for watching. Would really appreciate you helping to boost the algorithm. So to do that, just leave a comment. You don't have to say any words. How about a little game emoji or gaming emoji like you see on the screen now? A like, of course, is always appreciated, and I will see you in the next one.